Hi and welcome to another video. So I think this is going to be a bit of a short one, but I'm going to put it out there anyway because I've done a couple of Silca videos in the past on the super secret chain wax. So I did one video on how to use the prep and how to apply it, and then I did another video a few weeks later on how I got on using it. And those videos are actually pretty popular and pretty successful. People seem to like them. So I've now got another Silca product here, the Silca Impero frame pump. This is the Impero Ultimate 2.0. And I've been wanting one of these for quite a while now, but I've never managed to get hold of one that's been in the right size. It's just always been out of stock. But they came in stock, so I ordered one, now I have it. So today I will unbox it and I'll show you it. And it's just a pump, so it's going to be a pretty short video. So I thought I'd start off by talking about why I've got it. So I've got the gravel bike, and I recently did a bit of bike packing in the Pyrenees. You might have seen the videos. I'll put a link up so you can check them out. If not, I actually quite like them, so you might too. And when I was bike packing, the only pump I had was this, which is a little Air Boy XL, which is quite good for high volume. It's made by SKS. But it's tiny. It still takes ages to pump air into your tyre. Now luckily when I was on that trip I only got one puncture, and it happened about 2 miles, maybe less than 2 miles before the end of the journey. So I just rode home. I might have got more punctures, but the sealant sorted it, so only one puncture that actually caused me any issues. But in the future I'm planning a bigger bike packing trip that might involve more rough terrain and might have more opportunity for punctures. And I don't really want to be stuck at the side of the road or in the middle of nowhere with just one really tiny pump that's going to take ages to pump up, and especially if the weather's bad or something. I have had to use this before. I did Dirty Reaver, had so many problems with punctures when I did Dirty Reaver, and this does take a long time to get air into the tyre, even though it's a high volume pump. This is one of the ones where you just push it on and then pump. It's not one of the ones where you have to screw it onto the valve. I actually don't know what the Silca is in terms of whether you have to screw it onto the valve or not. I'm hoping not, because I find sometimes the valve can come out when you have to screw it off again, which is super annoying. But it's less of a problem when you are dealing with, when I'm dealing with a tubeless one, because I tend to have the valve tool anyway, so I can always just tighten the valve up a little bit. So it's not so much of a problem really. So yeah, when you buy the Silca Impero frame pump, you have a choice of 3 sizes, which is actually a little bit annoying because it means that it's not going to work with every bike that you own. But it's kind of understandable why they have to do that, because you know, to be tight in every frame is going to be pretty much impossible. So you have to measure your frame from here to here, and then order the size that you need. So this is a small one. I actually have my summer road bike here waiting to be packed up for a little trip that I'm doing, and luckily this is actually the same size, so this comes up small as well, so I can use it on both bikes. I've not actually measured if I can use it on my winter bike or not. I might take it on my winter bike if I find I start getting punctures again, but last year I did go tubeless on my winter road bike, and since then, touch wood, I've not had a puncture. So I've not really felt the need for taking a frame pump out like I would if I was still using tubes and getting punctures it felt like every 5 miles at the end of last year. It got really bad. So yeah, hopefully this size does fit, because these bikes are both on the border of small but still within small, just right at the top end. So yeah, I'm hoping it does fit when I open it. I think that's enough talking. I will open the pump. So the packaging's pretty nice. I think you just cut, I'm using a screwdriver which is a little crappy, but yeah, there's a little seal that I just cut. Top comes off, a little bit of foam. Packaging's quite nice. More foam, and then we have the pump. And there we have it. So this is the Silca Impero frame pump. So the reason I went for the Silca one is not because I'm like particularly married to the brand. It's because I read online, or I've watched videos online where people complain about the cheaper ones rusting internally. This one seems to have okay sort of like rubber gaskets and stuff. It seems to be fairly well regarded in terms of sort of like longevity, which is what you want, because these are the sort of things where you do ride with them in the rain, in the bad weather, they get covered in mud, and you don't realise that they're broken until you actually need to use them. So you want something that is going to work when you do need it. So yeah, the quality itself, it seems okay. It looks like it's a push on, so push on and pump, so you don't have to worry about screwing it on, which I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I guess we should put it onto the frame. It does look quite small though, which is a little bit worrying. Okay, so we'll try fitting it to the bike. I'm being super lazy here and doing it while sat down, but I think that'll mean that you can see it because I'm not just going to be sat sort of like in front of the bike while I'm doing it. So this end here goes into the frame, so the non-valve end goes into the front of the frame, and then the valve end is the bit that sticks at the back. So you should be able to just kind of push it in there, squeeze it, let go. Yeah, it fits, and it seems like fairly secure in there. Like that's not going anywhere. Like the bike's moving before the pump falls out. So that's good. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, so before I weigh it and tell you how much it weighs, which I think is going to be the last thing I do in this video, I'll just stick it into the Giant and just see if it fits that as well, because it did say online it would. It doesn't fit the front of the Giant that well because this part is curved. I don't know if you can see that. I'm quite far away from the camera. But yeah, this part is curved and the Giant's really flat there, so that doesn't fit as well. But yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, the Giant really is on the border of whether you'd want that size, I think, but not sure. Yeah, actually, if you push it up high, then it does seem to fit quite well. And I have seen on Silca's, some of Silca's photos, they have like a little strap that can hold it there. And maybe if you use that, it would just keep it just a bit more secure. So yeah, actually that is pretty good if you have it up at the top there like that. Okay, so on to the most important thing, I guess, and that's the weight. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's a frame pump. You're going to have loads of luggage on your bike if you're going bikepacking, or you're going to be training in winter if you're taking something like this out. So it doesn't really matter how much it weighs, but in cycling, that's all anyone cares about. So I've got a little set of scales here. 266 grams is what the small one is coming up at. And to compare that to how much my little pump weighed, that was 95 grams. So yeah, over twice as much. Obviously, your little mini pump will vary in weight. You might be using CO2 cartridges, although not really a good idea if you're tubeless. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. There's not really that much to talk about. It's an unboxing of a frame pump. But make sure you measure your bike if you're going to buy one, and buy one that's the right size. Be confident in the sizes on the website is something I've learned. So my bikes are both, as I said, right at the top end of small, and it was a bit nerve-wracking because when you buy it from Silca, they say you can't return this. But it was correct. It fits both bikes, it seems. I was going to pump up a tyre and show you me doing that, but I figured that's kind of pointless. We know what it's going to be like. It's a frame pump. We know that it's going to be quicker than using one of these little tiny things, but we know it's going to be not quite as fast as using a track pump. But even if having this just helps me once while out on the bike and gets me going again, especially if the weather's bad or something, then it's going to be well worth having. So thanks for watching. Hopefully next time the video will be a bit more exciting than just unboxing and talking about a frame pump. If you've got any questions about this, then just leave it in the comments below. If you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.